Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to Satisfactory. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing wonderful. So, I have shut down the copper plate constructor and swapped it over to wire because, well, we need a lot of wire going forward, and I haven't had a chance to redo all of the copper related stuff yet. And of course, the main reason that we need all of this wire is this. We have a massive concrete box over here. This is our new reinforced frame, or modular frame factory. And this thing, I have spent many hours working on this. So the way that I have built it is kind of different than the way that I usually build my factories, and that is that I have made boxes that intersect each other, each containing a different process that is being done for this modular frame setup. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on inside of here, because there's a lot to talk about in all of this. So first off, down here on the lowest floor, we have our two iron miners. Now, one of the issues that I was running into while figuring out the logistics for all of this was how I was going to ensure that we had the proper amount of material going to each set of constructors. And so what I've had to do on these is overclock these miners to very specific amounts. So if we look at this one here, this guy is overclocked at 180% to produce 54 iron ore per minute. Now that 54 iron ore per minute is going to be run through smelters and then turned into iron rods. This other miner over here is overclocked to 225%, producing 67.5 parts, iron ore per minute. That will be smelted and then sent through to make iron plates. Now that is only going to make 45 iron plates, but that is exactly what we need for this setup. So what I have done also with the smelters then is one of the smelters will be normally clocked and the other one is overclocked or underclocked accordingly, because we are going to be consuming a large amount of power here. I wanted to save as much as I could. But so like this one here is overclocked to 125%, and this one here is the standard 30. This one is the standard 30, and this one is underclocked to 80% for 24 sets of ingots per minute. Then also I have here the output, and we will get to that eventually. Now over here through this door we see where the copper wire comes in and is elevated to the later floors. So over here I did do just a tiny bit of decoration, but really, I mean, this is little of nothing, producing a tiny bit of light coming in and being able to see out. We will be adding a lot more decoration to this. Now, I did use the industrial catwalks for all of this, and I think it looks pretty good. So this floor here is our logistics for all of the constructors and level 1 assemblers. So above me right here are the assemblers that are, or the constructors that are making the rods. And then over here above this section are the constructors that are making the plates. Now over on the far side, we bring the plates back down and send them over and merge them together with the copper wire to make the stitched iron plates. So there are three assemblers above here to make that. So we'll go up to the next floor and take a look at those real quick. So in here we have all of our assemblers. Now again, or constructors. So again, we have a bunch of them that are standard 100% clocking. This one here is underclocked to 60% to make up the last 9 that we need for the rods. And then the same with the plates. The first 2 are 100%. And then this last one is underclocked to 25% because we needed an extra 5. Now, could I have overclocked these other guys? Yes. But that would have taken more power than adding another one. So I decided not to. So again, on these guys, we have the assemblers making the stitched plates. Those 2 are set at 100%. This one here is set at 40% to make an extra 2.25. So that gives us the exact amount. So we end up with, let me just check here. We end up with 13.5 stitched plates per minute. And the iron plates are going over there, and then we have the 54 iron rods. Now those will be going up through this little area here to the next floor. Now that next floor then is a very simple floor. It is just 5 assemblers that are putting together the rods and the reinforced plates to make the modular frames. So these guys are set at 100% except for the very last one here, which is set at 50% because we needed a whole 1 extra. So we will be producing 9 modular frames per minute out of this factory. Now I have not done the math on how much this thing is going to take for consumption, so let's go and hook it up. I am really excited to see this factory come to life. I have not powered it in the slightest, and so I really want to see where everything goes, and hopefully I have not made any mistakes. So we're going to go ahead and grab some power from over here. I have a single power outlet on the side of the building that will turn this entire thing on. So let's check where our power consumption is currently. So our current maximum consumption is 326 megawatts. So let's go ahead and hook this guy up and see where that puts us. So that should have turned everything on, and my gosh, 500 and a half. So we went from 326 to 500 and a half. This factory is consuming 175-ish. It's 174 and a half megawatts of power. But let's go and see. I see that the cables are moving now, or the wires are moving now, so that's a good sign. We should see our smelters coming to life here very soon. So it looks like that one has already spread its stuff out. This one here is getting there. So slowly this should kick on. I've tried to split the things as best as I can to keep it an even feed everywhere, but like in the last floor, it is set up for manifold feeding, so it will take a while for the last little bit to go. But so we should have iron ingots now going up these 2 elevators, going up to the next floor to be converted into rods and plates. And once we start getting some rods, we should start seeing the assemblers coming on to make the stitched plates as well. So let's come over here. Yeah, we've got these guys here already active making plates. So very soon these guys should come to life making the reinforced plates using the alternate stitched iron plates. And yes, I want to see this factory come to life. I want to see it do its thing. Oh, we have one that is not getting fully fed. Well, I'm sure that as things speed up, we will start to see it come to life properly. Like I say, it's a perfect 1-to-1 on everything. There is no extra capacity of any of these machines. So, yeah, it does have to exactly put out what it's supposed to. Now, I'm really hoping that I have not screwed up any of the connections with the belts or the lifts or the mergers or the splitters or anything like that. It is very difficult to make sure that you get this all right off of the bat. And it does kind of look like we're not getting anything out of here. Our iron oh, nope, there go the iron plates. Okay, so we are getting our iron plates out. That is good. So we'll just wait and see if we... Okay, yep, we've got iron plates coming out over there. So I am hoping that means that everything is working there. Got all of these iron ingots moving around. And we should be able, if we go up to the constructor floor, we should be able to see, yes, our iron rods going up there. So very soon we should have enough to start kicking on these guys. We'll start making the stitch plates. Those will go up, and we should start getting our reinforced plates up to the top to make the modular frames. Yes, 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 yes. I am really happy about all of this. This has been an incredibly long process to make all of this, and I think it is now time to start looking at some of the decoration that we can do for this factory. And I think this is probably the method that I am going to use for a lot of the factories going forward, is just making them primarily out of concrete and just making a big concrete box, and then we can do what we want to decorate it later. Now, one of the things that I did end up with on this factory is there are large overhangs from floor to floor, and so I have put in pillars, you know, some big concrete pillars to make it feel like it's being held up. And so we also have a bunch of those around the back. And so I'm kind of happy about that. I am debating whether we want to remove that tree. I don't know if we want to or not. For now, I'm going to leave it there. I'll wait to see what you guys say on that. It is clipping through the wall up there, but yeah, it is what it is. One other thing that I did here is the smokestacks for the smelters are poking through the roof here. And that was actually something that I thought would be kind of cool, was having the smoke dumping out into the open. It is under the building at that point, but, you know, it is... I think it's a pretty cool little thing to have. So, yes, I suppose the next thing to do then would be to work out some of the decorations that we want for this. I definitely want to get some windows in certain places, put some depth into it with some concrete beams and things like that. Eventually we'll have some stuff down here for the the modular frames. The modular frames will be coming down here for storage. That was kind of an important thing for me, to make sure that the modular frames were taken down to the ground level in order to make sure that we had the appropriate ability to go and grab them. And I went to the wrong floor. I want to go to this floor. I want to make sure that, yep, these guys are active. They are doing their thing. Oh, I didn't get power to this one. Well, let's get that real quick. Yeah, we'll run that to there. There we go. So now that one is powered. Yeah, that kind of messed things up a little. So I missed one power connection. Now, if that's all that I have missed in this entire factory, I would say that is pretty good. So let's go up to the top floor and just see, are we getting resources into these guys? Actually, there's one already making modular frames. Can we see? Can I look inside of you, please? Yes, look at that. We are making the modular frames. It's happening. It is happening. We're making them there. We're making them on the end. Very nice. All right. Well, I am going to do a little bit in the way of decorating on this. Might do some coloring. I don't know. But definitely some little trim pieces, some decoration bits. And I will see you guys in a little bit. Well, aside from a little bit of Z fighting in the windows, I would say that's not looking too bad. So it is very simple. I just added some pillars, painted them black, painted the stairwell area black as well, added a bunch more windows around the exterior of the building. And yeah, in general, I think it looks a lot better. I also finished up a little bit where the walls were not all the way to the bottom of the foundations. I think it all looks considerably better than it did just a little while ago. But this has not been a huge project to decorate this up, but already we have over 200 of the modular frames. So that is really nice. I'm very happy to see how fast this thing is producing the modular frames. So what I am going to do, I'm going to throw all but, well, actually we are going to grab a bunch more of those from here somewhere. Where did I put those? I don't remember anymore. I put them somewhere here. I thought I did. Maybe I put them in here. Yeah, I put them in here. So we have quite a few of these modular frames now. So I am going to throw a bunch of these into the awesome sink. We're going to keep 2 stacks of them ourselves for now. But that should give us tons of points. I'm very curious to see. Wow. Yeah, we're getting somewhere around 800 points per second. So that is a substantial amount of points out of those, and that will run for a little while considering. So we should be able to get a bunch more tickets. Now, of course, while I've been building this, I've been throwing various miscellaneous items into these boxes. But, yeah, is it going to give us a value here for how much we're getting? Whoa. Over 28,000 right now, and that was not a full minute's worth of stuff going into it. So that's pretty good. But now what we need to do is grab ourselves a bunch of rotors. And I think between the rotors and the modular frames, we have what we need for basic steel production. Okay, so we need some wire and some more rotors. So let's get that real quick. Another stack of rotors and then a bunch of wire. Now, right now, I do not have all of the whatever wire split up. I'm sending more wire into the factory at the moment than it needs. I'm sending a full 60 per minute. It only needs 45. So I do need to split 15 off of that belt that can come back down to the storage box. But right now, it's using it. So let's go ahead and throw all of this in there. And there we go. Steel production.
Milestone reached. Steel production unlocked. Foundry grants access to new, simple steel parts. An additional project part can now be constructed. Progress to the next phase is now possible.
Well, I don't know that progress to the next phase is possible, but we definitely can move up. So we now have these foundries, and this is part of the reason why I wanted to be able to get the modular frames going, because we need them to build these things. So let's take a look at this guy real quick and just see what do we need for this. So steel ingots, and we need 45 iron ore and 45 coal per minute, and it will produce 45 steel. So we're going to have to do a little bit of thinking about where we can do some steel around here. Now, I do know if we take a look at coal, there was a bit more coal, I believe. So, of course, we have the 4 nodes over here that we are using for our power plant, but then I believe there's another one up in this area. Is it going to show up? Doesn't look like it, but we do also have these guys down here, and they're pure on both of them. And we've got tons, like this one here is right next to a massive, well, not right next to it, but there is a massive amount of iron over here, 8 impure nodes. And then over here, I believe there's a couple of impure and a couple of normal nodes. So there is a lot of iron to be had around there. So, I mean, we could do it down there, or we could come up here, because I believe also there is some iron available near our coal. So let's go ahead and drive up closer to the power plants so that we can get a better scan of that stuff. But there is a lot of iron available around here. Most of it's not real good nodes, but we should have plenty of iron near some coal somewhere. So let's drive up here just right overlooking the entrance to the crater-esque thing here that the coal has been in. And let's just look here. So now if we scan for iron here, I believe there is some iron. Yeah, right there. So that's actually a pure iron node. So we could do quite a bit with that one. And I think it's down right beside that waterfall. And now the question becomes, is there that... Well, that is not what I wanted. I want this. Are we going to see this other coal node that's over here? Yes? No? There it is. So that's still a fair distance away. So I think what we'll probably do is just snag some of the coal from these other nodes, and we should probably be okay. The temporary nodes, I thought I'd collected all of those. But yeah, so we definitely have the ability to get some steel production down here if we so chose. Well, that's going to take some planning, figure out where we want to do the steel, because, I mean, we have to make sure that we have an adequate supply of iron, of coal, and then we don't want it too far away from our factory area here either. So yeah, let me do some thinking on that. I'm sure I'll figure some stuff out. Before I go, I do want to take a look here. So at the maximum, 48,552 points per minute. If we could run our modular frames at full speed into this guy, that's quite a bit. But yeah, I am going to do some thinking about that. Might do just a tiny bit more decoration on the factory. I don't know. So I'll get that all. I'll figure some stuff out with the coal and the steel and all of that, and I will be back in a moment. So I just went back through the factory and just verified that everything was working right, and I realized I had looked at the wrong number when doing the copper wire. So I was looking at the number of copper ingots that were needed. Well, 1 ingot produces 2 wire. So I had half the amount of wire coming into this thing as I needed. And I couldn't figure out why my iron plates were backing up until I caught that. So I did have to overclock the copper production in order to get it to produce 120 wire per minute. Now, until this starts getting caught up, I am going to be running all 120 wire per minute in here. And then I will connect those 2 splitters, which will then start sending 90 over to the factory and 30 over to our storage box. So that should work out okay. But yeah, that was definitely working out to be a bit of a problem if I had not figured that one out. But yeah, that's I guess that's the way that it goes. Sometimes there's a lot of moving parts in here, and it's very easy to screw one little bit up. But I have been thinking about the steel production a little bit, and what I think we'll actually do, we're going to save all of our coal down here for producing power, because we are going to need a lot of power in the future. You know, the fact that this new factory took 175 megawatts by itself shows how much power we are going to be needing going forward. So instead, I think we're going to make the steel here. There are 3 normal iron nodes there, and we have a lot of other iron around the area that we could bring into that area. But so then what I am going to do is set up a tractor making a trip down to wherever, I think it's in this little black spot right there, to pick up coal and transport it back up to that factory. So I'll have to do some major thinking about how much fuel the tractors are going to take in order to be able to drive back and forth there. And so we're not going to be able to get the full output of the pure coal node there, but it won't be far off. I would imagine at best we should set aside 15 coal for the tractors. So yeah, if we hop in here though and take a look at this, so we do have, there's actually 5 iron nodes over here that are fairly close to each other that we can use if we want to do steel in this area. So like I said, we have the 3 normal nodes that are right here. So, oh hey, that guy's back. So there's these 3 nodes here. Those are all normal. So at our current technology, that will give us 180 ore per minute. But then up on top of this ridge, there's another 2 impure nodes, which can take us up to 240 ore per minute between all of those. So if we combine all that together, that's going to be quite a bit. Now that is tremendously more than we are going to be able to haul in from our coal node at the moment. So I'm thinking this seems like a good place. We'll be able to do some forward thinking on that. And so we should be able to produce a fair amount of steel there. So that's the plan. And I think I'm going to try to work out some of the logistics on that. We are definitely going to need to get our power over here, because of course that is going to be one of the first things we need, and we need to get that power to the coal as well. And that is just so much fun. Reload, please. Reload. Jeez. Bumped the wrong button and that almost went sideways fast. But yeah, so we will be setting up, well, at least 2 of the miners here for hauling off or for collecting the iron ore. And honestly, I wish, well, we'll be able to get there very soon. Once we get to the Mark III conveyors, we will be able to overclock our miner in order to get more out of it. But maybe we don't have to? Does Mark III belts give us the Mark II miner? Where do we get the Mark II miner? Let's go take a look at that real quick, because I don't remember anymore. So let's go ahead and look at this here. So tier 4. Okay, so we actually only need to get to the advanced steel production to be able to get our Mark II miners. Whereas the logistics Mark III, well, we get steel set up. That's actually going to be pretty easy to get to. So yeah, I mean, we've got a bunch of stuff that we need to do there. And you know what? Let's get this thing. We want the Xeno Basher. You know, this little guy, the Xeno Zapper, it is just not cutting it anymore. I don't remember what we needed for that. Let's go ahead and select that milestone. So we need some cable and we need some wire. So 200 cable. Go ahead and grab that. And then 1,500 wire. Good Lord, that's a lot of wire. And then, of course, we will need to craft that. But let's go ahead and drop these in there. There we go.
Milestone reached. R&D inflated your pocket dimension, added an additional hand equipment slot, and have provided an improved Xeno Zapper with increased strength and range.
All of that is good stuff. Every bit of it. So we need another Xeno Zapper for this guy, because it does take 2 Xeno Zappers, and it actually looks like we have everything else in our inventory. So that's kind of nice. So let's go ahead and get that. We will unequip that guy, And the Xenobasher. Yes. Let's get the Xenobasher. This is so much better of a weapon. So now, let's go ahead and equip that guy. Ha! Yes. Alright, let's go find something. We're gonna wreck some face here, because that sounds like a fun thing to do right now. So there should be a couple of guys out in this direction. I think just on the other side of this, down in the valley, there should be a couple of plasma spitters. So let's go down here. Right in here, there should be a plasma spitter. Hello? Maybe I'm too close now for them to respawn. I don't know. Well, let's see if we can find a couple of hogs up here. There should be a couple of hogs up in this area. And I am definitely not causing them to not spawn, so 3 hits with the Xenobasher and they go down. Gotta love this thing. Ah, I love it. Alright, well, I think we did some pretty good progress here today. So, I'm very pleased with how things are going. Like I said, I gotta get everything worked out on the steel production, how we're going to do all of this for sure. And, yeah, I'm really, really happy to be finally getting to steel, to be staring down the face of Mark II miners and Mark III belts. I've been so limited by everything else so far. So, very happy, very excited to be getting into that stuff. So, I guess I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on or anything that you want to see me work on, be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Oh, and he's back already. Bye!